has overcome the lies, the good news of His Majesty in His Christ. And it is vital that we raise our tribal flag, the flag of the conquering lion of the tribe of Yehuda.
Millions of Christians throughout the world, Your Imperial Majesty, will regard you as the reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Senbet Salam, Salam Le Senbetachin. Greetings, I am Aras Yadinos Teferi Wendem Yaden, Brother Ras Iodonis, as many anglicized would say my name, Aras Yadinos. And we're here to discuss and to continue our Rastafari and Ethiopian Hebrew Sabbatical studies, our Sabbath, and Haile Selassie the First, Kedamawi Haile Selassie the Met of Kedus Bible studies, or the Revised Amharic Bible studies. And this Sabbath, the Sabbath in our course, these are all very important subject matters that require further illumination upon exactly what it is, you understand, and what it's about. In this particular sabbatical study, which is the 20th sabbatical study, the 20th sabbatical study that we know here is called Tet'eva, or Tet'awe in the Masoretic Hebrew, and according to the Ethiopic Hebrew of the Met of Kedus Revised Amharic Bible, is known as Izezacho. Now, in the Ge'ez reading of Orit, or the Ethiopic Torah, it is called Azizomu. And as we continue forward, we're going to do a cross comparison between the Masoretic, the Hebrew, as we've been doing with the Met of Kedus, or the Haile Selassie the First Bible. Once again, we point out the IOTA program, the YOTA or IOTA programming that IESUS or ESUS.com has put forward. And we have spoken on this before, and you can actually go to the ESUS.com site or look it up on the internet. It's a free downloadable program that has the Met of Kedus of His Majesty, the Revised Amharic Bible. It was the Amharic portion, and then now they've added the King James Bible. So some wonderful and excellent studies and cross comparisons as well. And this is very much the key of this particular one, the Strong's Hebrew and the Greek dictionary, along with Bible references, has been added to the new, or the latest version of the IOTA. You understand? The latest version of the IOTA program. So we highly advise that for the diligent students to download that, and they can utilize that. It's a standalone program. It's a free software, the IOTA software, that features the Amharic Bible and the version of the official version, which is like our King James. The Ethiopian so-called King James version is the Haile Selassie the First, but it has really nothing to do with the King James version of it. It comes from our own Ethiopic biblical ancient tradition, going back at least 3,000 years to Solomon, King Solomon, and the Queen of the Union of King Solomon, the Queen of Sheba. But now in this present 20th sabbatical study, according to our Sabbath Seder, you understand, according to the Sara'at, our order of studies and readings of the Torah, is called Izezacho and Tet'ave, and Tet'awe. We prefer the Tet'awe is more accurate. But let's pull up the scriptures let's go to the scriptures right here. It's important for us to go to the scriptures now, and let's begin. Let's begin this particular study off right here. All right. So let's get a moment, and now there's one more. There's an additional matter that we should note here at the outset, and that's in this particular program. It has a mastawasha, like notes where ones can put reminders and notes, and what we've done previously elsewhere, like in Word files here and there, and trying to compile and combine this into more book form so we can share some of the teachings and studies and that which we've been able to come to an understanding of with others, with other brothers and sisters. This is an ongoing process. But what we've noticed is that after each particular sabbatical study, when we are even just preparing a video or a pod or a teaching or a lecture or essay, when we're preparing certain materials to some shareware materials, upload, especially for the internet, and to reach our Rastafari social and our Ethiopian Hebrew social network using the media that's available. We notice that each particular sabbatical study, so there's about 50, the main one's about 54 of them, and we're a little less than half right now at the 20th. Now, what's been going on in the world is very interesting. In the outer world is very interesting, and we see the spirit is in these things. You understand what's going on, like even in Egypt, you understand, and what's going on in the global kind of system of things, the worldly system of things, is reflective of the true teachings of His Imperial Majesty once one can properly overstand and can do correct, what we call the hermeneutics on it. There's a correspondence. There's a lot of correspondences. For example, last week was the 19th, and so far this has gone to about 18. The protest went to 18 days. The 19th day was the new day, or the first day since Mubarak, the so-called evil pharaoh of the Mard in Egypt, decided to resign, so forth and so on. And that whole situation is still ongoing. There's much that could be said, and we have said on that. That's an ongoing revelation, manifestation, so forth and so on. But the grounding for us is Torah, is scriptural, is scriptural, and it's sabbatical. This is why we call it the Sabbath house readings, and the Sabbath house tables should be consulted. As we've mentioned before, you can go to our website and look for the Sabbath house readings and download a PDF file, and it's about 13 or so pages. One can print that out, hopefully, if they don't have regular internet or don't have their own computer. We say print that out to have it as a study guide. It's our basic discipleship study guide. This is the basic foundation for discipleship. Now, in the Rastafari Sabbath, the Ethiopic Exodus, we call it the Ethiopic Exodus. His Imperial Majesty H.I.M. Haile Selassie I Revised Amharic Bible. These are study notes and commentary presented by Ras Yadinos Teferi, or anglicized as Ras Iodonis, of the Lion of Judah Society, of His Imperial Majesty. So we begin at the Beit, or the Abiyat, the Mi'rafat, the Parashat, from the Orit Zemuse, or the Torah. 20th Sabbath, name is Zazacho in the Amharic, and name Azizomu in the Ge'ez. Now let's turn to the reference, Exodus chapter 27, verse 20 and 21. Verses 20 and 21 of Exodus chapter 27. It requires our attention right here. So let's turn our note Alen. Let's turn our scripture to that. Turn your scriptures to Exodus chapter 27, verses 20 and 21. where we have left off from the 19th sabbatical study. And here in the Schofield reference Bible, there's the tabernacle. We are still going through the elements of the tabernacle. Interesting that Schofield here notes that they're number 17. So we're in the 17th element. So that means there are 16 other elements that we need to study and we need to understand in this proper context, in the context of this. And if we were to go into this in detail, we'll be here a very long time. Even if we were to go into this in detail, but certain things are necessary to get out there. Certain things are necessary to share and necessary to remind our beloved brothers, brethren, as well as the sisters, the faithful, our family in the King of Kings and his Christ, of whom we have many things to say, and hard. And what? And hard, it says, and hard to be uttered, seeing ye are dull of hearing. Jorochachuhum silefezazua bekala linataragomo chinkno. Bekala linataragomo chinkno. It is difficult to it doesn't really mean to utter. It says bekal, by word, lintaragomo, for us to translate, for us to interpret, bekal, by word, chink no. It is very hard. You understand? It is very difficult. You understand? It's very anxietous for us to even attempt to interpret or translate by word. Why? Jorochachuhum, your ears. Silefezezu, because your ears are fuzzy. See, using the word fezezu is used with vision, like somebody that have blurry vision. You understand? And from much reading, sometimes I know exactly what that is. Sometimes your vision starts to get blurry. Some say you don't have enough light when you're reading, so forth and so on. Whatever it's from, that happens with the eyes, or because of Mekara. Dawid says because of Mekara, my eyes are blurry. You understand? Because of trouble and stress. My eyes are blurry. But here in the scripture, here in Ibrahiyana Mi'rafa Mista, the 5th chapter of Hebrews, and verse 11, it says, Joro chacho, silafezazu, bek'alintaragomo, chinkano. It says, and hard to be uttered, seeing you are what? Dull of hearing. When they say we're hearing, it says that your ears, because your ears are dull, because your receptors are dull, your willingness to listen, you understand, to the teachings of the King of Kings and his Christ, because there is a dullness there. You understand, we have many things to say, but it's hard for us. You understand, bekal in word lintaregumo chinkno. Now to the main part of this. And this is all why there's the importance for us to establish a Rastafari monastery, or a monastic type of a tradition for study and for discipline. You understand? Where ones are in their tzoma'it or tzoma'itat, in their monastic or their monk cells. You understand? The wendoch, in their wendoch, you understand, in their wendoch menoria, and the setoch in the setoch menoria, or the males being separated from the females, because many sisters also desire this as well. But what happens often is because there is not that infrastructure established for us, really by us, like FUBU, for us, by us. You know what I'm saying? It can only be for us if we do it ourselves. So the proposal now is being set forward to do this, you understand, to establish Rastafari monasteries, you understand, places where we can go to study. You understand? Places where we can stay to study. We said we would leave this for another need to study, and we need to understand in this proper context, in the context of this. And we said we would leave this for another pod and posting that we need to study and we need to understand in this proper context, in the context of this. And we said we would leave this for another pod and posting, but we're proposing right now that we establish a kind of for lack of a better word in English, monasteries and nunneries, Rastafari monasteries and nunneries, for those who truly do seek to study and show themselves approved to the King of Kings. In other words, but we're proposing right now that we establish
the truth has overcome the lies, the good news of His Majesty in His Christ. And it is vital that we raise our tribal flag, the flag of the conquering lion of the tribe of Yehuda.
Millions of Christians throughout the world, Your Imperial Majesty, will regard you as the reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.